you want to lose that stubborn mommy pouch or baby weight that just won't seem to budge, here.
Hey bestie, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we'll be talking about how to lose the baby weight. Growing a human being is not a joke, bestie. Your body has done something miraculous and you deserve to be proud of that. But it's okay to want to feel confident, strong and healthy again. Wanting to lose the baby weight doesn't mean you don't love your body. It just means you're ready to take care of it in a new way. So I've put the stitches together so that you watch. I'll be back to share my true sense.
If you want to lose that stubborn mommy pouch or baby weight that just won't seem to budge, here are the only 3 things that you need to be focusing on. This will work whether in your 30s or 50s, have PCOS, hormonal imbalances, cortisol belly, menopause, or no health conditions at all. This has worked for hundreds of my clients, whether they gave birth 9 months ago or 20 years ago, so I guarantee it'll work for you too. Definitely save this if you're ready to shed that stubborn belly fat, and share it with a friend who you think might find this helpful. So the first thing that you need to understand is that you can't spot reduce fat. Instead, you want to focus on how you can lose overall body fat, including fat in your stomach, and these 3 steps are going to show you exactly how to do that. Number 1, you want to be in a slight calorie deficit, and the reason I say slight is because if you're in too much of a calorie deficit, your metabolism will severely slow down, which will be detrimental, especially if you're a woman 35 and up. A calorie deficit essentially means that you're eating less calories than you burn, which leads to weight loss, and here's how you calculate what your unique calorie deficit needs to be. You want to take your goal weight times 12, and that's going to be your calorie deficit. For example, if your goal weight is 150 pounds, 150 times 12 is 1,800 calories. Now, you don't have to eat this exact amount every single day because that's really hard to maintain. You just want to average it. So say Monday, you're eating 1,700 calories, next day 1,800, next day 2,000, next day 1,900. I recommend being in about a 200 calorie buffer of the number. So for example, eating between 1,700 and 1,900 calories. So if we look at this example of a week of eating, you see some days we're over 1,800, some days we're under, but we're still averaging out to be at about 1,800 calories. So being in a calorie deficit will help us lose weight, but we also want to make sure we're losing fat because that's what's going to lead to having that slim, lean stomach area. And these next 2 things are going to help with that. Number 2, you want to make sure you're getting in enough protein. Protein aids in muscle building and muscle recovery, and women with more muscle have a faster metabolism, making fat loss 10 times easier. So in order to calculate your protein goals, if you weigh more than 225 pounds, take your current weight times 0.6. That is your daily protein goal. If you weigh 225 pounds or less, take your current weight times 0.8, and that's your daily protein goal. And if you're plant-based, vegan, or vegetarian, take your current weight times 0.4, and that's your daily protein goal, because it's a little bit harder to get in protein when you are plant-based. Number 3, and if you do this on top of the first 2, your stomach is going to completely transform. That is, you want to lift weights 3 to 4 times per week for 45 minutes to an hour per session, 4 workouts per session. The reason this is important is because if you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight. If you're eating enough protein, you're going to maintain your muscle mass because protein aids in muscle building and muscle recovery, which means the only thing left to lose is fat. Now, when you add lifting weights on top of that, you are losing fat and building muscle, which leads to that lean toned look everywhere, especially in your stomach. If you do these 3 things consistently for 6 months, you are going to be amazed by how much your belly transforms. So if you found this helpful, do me a favor and give me a follow. And if you want more personalized help when it comes to fitness, nutrition, and change your relationship with food so you can lose the belly fat.
Here are the 3 things I did after I had each of my kids. I have 2 under 2, 19 months apart. I gained and lost 40 pounds with each of them, and I lost all my weight within the first 6 months. Full disclaimer, I'm not saying that any of these things are easy. What I am saying is they work, and if you follow it and you are consistent, you will see results. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna stop drinking alcohol. You're just gonna cut it from your diet. Now, I understand some social events and date nights might come up in your weight loss journey. That's fine. You can have a drink or 2 at these events, but having a drink or 2 once a month is very different from having a drink or 2 every day. Alcohol is empty calories. There's a lot of sugar in it. It's gonna stop you from reaching your weight loss goals, and you're just not gonna see results. Okay, the next thing you're gonna do, and this is harder for some people than others, but you're gonna cut sugar from your diet. And yes, fruit contains sugar. You're gonna wanna find fruit that is lower on the glycemic index. So think berries, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries. Berries are gonna be your best friend on a weight loss journey. I also cut out pretty much all simple carbs. So rice, pasta, potatoes. I didn't eat any of that. It did wonders for my weight loss and my body. I know it's not easy. I'm just telling you what worked for me. The third thing, and this should come as no surprise, but cardio. After I had my daughter and I was cleared to go back to working out at 6 weeks postpartum, I was doing Peloton spin classes 5 to 6 days a week. 30 minutes or 45 minutes, that's all I was doing 5 or 6 days a week. I dropped the weight best. Now, if you really want to get fancy, like I did after I had my son, I started doing Orange Theory, which is HIIT style workouts, and it combines treadmill, rowing, and strength training. The results were insane. And listen, I know these things aren't groundbreaking, and we all pretty much know that to lose weight, you need to exercise, eat healthy, and not drink alcohol, but sometimes we just need to hear it. These things.
If you want to lose your postpartum baby weight,
I've got the secret.
hello, I'm Katie. I am a pre and postnatal health and fitness coach, and I'm here to help you come back to yourself as you once were before you had kids, but leveled up and making you feel like that hot ass mum. So you want to lose some postpartum baby weight? Well, number one secret is you have to actually try. So often mums are giving up at the slightest inconvenience, at the slightest excuse, and this is holding you back. You have to push yourself. I know you're tired. I know you're hungry. I know you want to do all of these things, but you just have to put in the effort and implement the strategies. You need to work. You can do hard things. You pushed a baby out of your vagina, or you had major surgery to give birth. So put in the effort and you will find the rewards.
If you're a breastfeeding mom and you want to lose weight after you've had your baby, you need to watch this video because I'm going to tell you the most effective place to begin this postpartum weight loss journey. And it's likely going to be a lot different than what you did if you've previously tracked macros or calories before you had kids. I'm going to give you the skinny of what exactly you need to do as a postpartum mom who has lost about combined 75 pounds after 2 postpartum journeys. And I've been a nursing mom that's never lost her milk supply, still currently nursing for over 3 years. I have personal experience with this. It's worked incredibly well for me. I do this with all of my clients because I also am a nutrition coach for pregnant and postpartum women, and I do this all of the time. So I'm going to tell you a trick of the trade of what you can do to be able to preserve your milk supply and optimize the supply without tanking it. Also, not trade your supply for your results. Okay, so step 1, here's what you're going to do. You are going to download an app like My Macros Plus or MyFitnessPal. That's my personal favorite. Get said tracking app. That's your first step. Once you have this, you are going to ignore the elementary input of how tall are you, what's your goal weight, blah, 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 how active are you? Ignore that. Ignore all of the pre-generated calories. And then step 2 is you are going to utilize this app. The free versions are always fine, and use it as a virtual food diary. Okay. Olivia, why are we doing this? Great question. I'd love to answer it for you. You are doing this because number 1, those online calculators and meal generator things, they are not going to be catered to a postpartum and nursing body. So if you are relying on them to give you reliable advice while you are a lactating mom, this is a recipe to drop your supply through the basement floor and never get it back. Okay, it's so much easier to preserve your supply than to chase it away, bottom it out, and try to scramble and get it back. Truly, it's best to err on the side of caution. So step 1, get a free app. Number 2, ignore the protocols. Number 3, use it like a virtual food diary. So what this means is that you are going to take whatever you're currently eating in a day. It could be a Subway footlong for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It could be a pint of ice cream every night. I don't care what you're eating. This is not to give you a grade on what kind of nutrients are going in your body. This is, if you are going on your fitness journey, where you need to start calorically to be able to fuel your body and then see results. So what this looks like is you're going to take whatever you're already eating and whatever portion size you'd already eat it. Track it as honestly and accurately as possible. If you could weigh your food, that would be great. Measuring it in some capacity would be absolutely recommended. Weigh it and then track it. Don't change what you're eating, but weigh it and track it and then move on with your life. Do this for 1 to 2 weeks. I know it will feel like a long time, but the time passes by so quickly, and you are going to be so grateful that you did this because after that 1 to 2 weeks, you're going to be able to see what your daily and weekly average of calories in looks like. If you're a breastfeeding mom, it's very, very realistic that your daily average calories would be in between 2,500 and 3,500 calories a day, okay? That's very common. You're gonna have a lot of food going in because your body's gonna cue you that you need food. You're gonna be hungry. It is okay. Don't be alarmed at that. That is expected. And then once you have your personal weekly averages and daily averages, you can say, okay, my supply looks this good when I'm eating this amount of food. Then you can start shaping up what's actually going in your body. Or maybe if you want to go into a calorie deficit, you can kind of put that in a game plan from there. But it is so important that you are able to hit the ground running, knowing what your body needs for energy, because just plugging your data into some app, they're likely going to spit out that you need to eat 11, 12, 13, 1400 calories a day. That is a recipe to have your supply drop through the basement floor. Again, it's so much easier to preserve your supply than scramble and try to get it back. So if you're a breastfeeding mom and you want to transform your body, start here. Take this tip. I promise this is something that I have done professionally and personally so many times. I would highly recommend it. Whether you're also breastfeeding or not, this is just a great tip right off the rip. You're going to invest a little bit of your time right up front, but the knowledge and the clarity you're going to gain about what your body actually needs for results is going to be life-changing. If you have questions on this, drop it down below. But remember, moms, you're irreplaceable, so it's time you start acting like it.
These are 5 things that I learned that I'll be reusing in my pregnancy that made me go from this to this in 10 months, okay? So number 1 is I drank a lot of fluids, especially water. Water helps boost your metabolism for those who don't know. Also, I breastfed, which helps so much. If you don't want to breastfeed, pump. If you don't want to do either, just make sure you're getting a lot of fluids in. I know it's easy to kind of get sidetracked with a newborn and not really take care of yourself or eat as much as you can or drink as much as you can either because you're too busy focusing on the little one. But definitely make sure to have an intake of water. I always kept like water on me. Number 2 was when I was eating, I was sometimes using garbage because it's easier to rely on garbage food when you have a newborn because it's easier. But what helped me a lot was I didn't have breakfast, but I made like a brunch. So towards the afternoon, I would go for more for like eggs, turkey bacon, and then smoothies were like a big thing, protein smoothies. And then I'd have a bigger dinner. And by doing this, I kind of avoided like all the snacking around in between. And also like, you know, I had the day to prepare my dinner, if that makes sense, and kind of worry about my son in the mornings and worry about him, just like have a coffee and like some quick like smoothie and that's it. So I would focus more on dinner being my main like meal. And by doing so, it kept like a really good habit, and I still kind of follow with today, which helped me put off a lot of my weight. But also, not that I'm eating less, but I'm eating more healthy and I'm eating like a bigger meal with the same calories. I'm still getting my same calorie base that I wanted to, and I'm intaking, but just like a lot like healthier, if that makes sense. 3rd is after a month of giving birth, I went right back to the gym. I also stayed active when I was pregnant. Obviously the situation isn't the same for everybody. I had an emergency C-section and I was good to go after a month. So as soon as I did it, I started like 15 to 30 minutes at the gym on the Stairmaster. Last thing is I got the fuck out of bed. It is so easy to stay in bed with a newborn. I like can't stress it enough, but me having so much, like I have 2 dogs, like my man had to go back to work like a few days after my birth. Like I was by myself, you know what I'm saying? I kind of was like forced into moving, and by doing so I was able to kind of get my momentum back, which helped me a lot as well. It's the next day, but I forgot one. So if I look wild, it's just because of the morning, okay? Number 5 is pick one thing that's sweet in the day. Like for me, it's my coffee, and that's my sugar intake for the day, if you know what I'm saying. Obviously, I'm not going to count it on all my dishes I'm eating, but coffee is where I get that like creamer and everything in it. If it's a chocolate bar or anything else, then so be it, but pick one thing that's like your sweet pleasure in the day, and you'll see a dramatic change in your body because you'll be cutting out all the other unnecessary sugars that you have. Anyways, thanks.
I gained 50 pounds in my pregnancy. 20 of those pounds flushed away when I gave birth to my son and I got rid of the fluid in me. And then the other 30 of those pounds I did have to get rid of myself. The first thing is I breastfeed, which burns calories every single day. Then I eat in a calorie deficit. So find out your maintenance calories, how many calories you naturally burn, and then eat about 400, 500 less. If you're breastfeeding, do be careful because you can't go too low. And also exercising every single day, or at least trying to hit 10,000 steps a day. And don't be mad, but I do count my calories. It's really the only way to see how much I'm actually eating. The way I was shook to see how much sugar and extra calories I was consuming without even realizing it. I was able to swap things out and be able to lose weight very fast. Really wanted to lose the weight. 1, because I just felt so uncomfortable, like just dragging along with extra weight. I just couldn't do it, and I knew I had to make a change. I just want to keep going to get even more fit and get my number down a little bit lower, so that way when I get pregnant again, Lord willing, I can start off much healthier than I started off my first pregnancy.
It took me a year to get where I'm at today. You have to be realistic. Like, your body did go through a lot of changes. You might have stretch marks, you might have things that are not reversible, but what I did to kind of just feel like myself again, feel good in my skin, and I hate to turn doubts back because honestly, all I want to do is have a healthy body and feel good in my skin. How I lost the weight is I did not drastically change my diet. I did not completely cut out carbs, sugar, whatever it is. I really do not believe in dieting. I live by the motto of everything in moderation. So if I'm craving cheesecake, I'll have a little bit of cheesecake. I won't eat 2 whole slices. So just monitoring my portions, but letting myself indulge in those cravings. I've noticed that if I don't let myself have these things, I just go absolutely crazy and then I start binging and it's just a vicious cycle. So do not deprive yourself of anything. Next quick little tip that's really easy to implement is get yourself an air fryer. You can shove anything, sweet potato fries, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, any vegetable. It will make it 10 times tastier, and if it's tastier, you'll eat more of it. So having an air fryer, sometimes I'm just bored of having a regular salad, so putting my vegetables in that helps me up my vegetable intake and still have a tasty meal. So yeah, quick little hack. Next tip is try to not eat too late at night. So if you're going to bed at 10, try to have your dinner around 7, 8 so you have time to digest it. Thank you, my love. Yeah, let your body have time to digest your meal before going to bed. And follow for part 2 because we're running out of time.
If you're a breastfeeding mom and the pregnancy weight that you accumulated has not melted off your body like everybody preaches that it will if you are breastfeeding, I am here to tell you that just because you are breastfeeding does not mean that you are going to lose weight. In fact, there are some women, it's coming from somebody who's experiencing this themselves and is also a functional medicine practitioner that specializes in nutrition, and I work with a lot of postpartum women, and there are a lot of us that during this season of life, our bodies respond to breastfeeding by actually holding on to all the nutrients that we are putting into it as a protective mechanism to prevent our bodies from going into starvation mode so that we can continue to nourish our babies. Not only that, but everybody responds to prolactin, which is the hormone that is responsible for keeping your milk supply high. Everybody responds to that hormone differently, and some of us respond to it by storing excess body fat. Don't get me wrong, I'm very well aware that some women start breastfeeding and all of the weight melts off for them. I love that for you guys, and honestly, I'm very jealous. I wish that that was me, but it's not, and it's okay if that's not you too. So if you look in the mirror today and you're not loving the way that you look, and you're like, my metabolism's broken, my body's broken, am I doing something wrong? Do I need to be working out more? I'm giving you a virtual hug because this is the sacrifice that we are making as breastfeeding mamas for our babies, because we know that it's healthiest for them. Our bodies are not broken. Our bodies are resilient. This is a protective mechanism, and our body will get back to where we want it to be. You are not doing anything wrong, mama. Keep on keeping on and give yourself grace.
That's a video, bestie, so I'm just going to add on like what I think about today's video. So I'm going to be honest about postpartum weight loss because there's a lot of pressure out there from Instagram, from celebrities who bounce back in 2 weeks, and even from people around you who say things like you have still not lose the weight. First of all, everybody is different. Every pregnancy is different, and every journey back to feeling like yourself again is different. Some women lose the weight easily, some struggle for years, and both are normal. So I'm going to break down one of the first things I want to say. I say it loud, like, don't rush. Give your body time to heal. You just went through childbirth, whether you had a C-section or vaginal delivery, your body needs time to recover. And when I say it, I mean months, not weeks. Focus on nourishing yourself and your baby first. Your hormones are still regulating, your sleep is probably all over the place, and your emotional state may be up and down. All of that plays a role in your ability to lose weight. When it comes to food, don't go into full of restriction mode. Your body is already under stress, especially if you're breastfeeding. You need those calories to produce milk. Instead of dieting, focus on eating whole food, things that make you feel energized. Fill your plate with lean proteins, vegetables, healthy fats, and complex carbs. Cut back on processed snacks slowly and drink a lot of water. Hydration is actually a big deal in postpartum recovery and can help you reduce water retention and bloating. Let's also talk about movement. I'm not going to tell you to hit the gym 6 weeks after birth unless you genuinely want to and your doctor clears it. Start with gentle movement, daily walks with a stroller, a great way to get fresh air and move your body. As your energy returns, you can gradually add more structured workout. But listen, you don't need to go extreme. This is not a time to punish your body. This is a time to rebuild a relationship with it. Also, don't compare yourself to influencers or moms. Social media is a highlight reel, okay? You're not seeing the postpartum giggle, the private shapes, or the nannies that allow them time to work out and sleep 8 hours a night. You're doing the best you can, and that's what matters. Your journey might be slow, messy, and more emotional, and that's okay. Your weight doesn't define your worthy or your success as a mother. Another huge factor is sleep, okay, or the lack of it. Let's be real. Sleep makes everything harder, including weight loss. It affects your hormones, your cravings, your mood, and your ability to stay active. So if you're struggling to make progress and you're failing to sleep, that's not good. But you're running on 3 hours of sleep. Give yourself grace. Your time will come. Prioritize rest whenever you can. If that means napping instead of waking out, do it. You need to refill your cup first. And here is something that no one talked about enough: mental health. Postpartum depression and anxiety are real. If you're feeling low, unmotivated, or overwhelmed, you might need more support than just a workout plan. Talk to someone, a therapist, a support group, even a close friend. You don't have to go through this alone. Losing weight is not just physical, it's emotional, it's mental, and it's spiritual too. Let's also talk about identity. So many moms feel like they've lost themselves, like they're just a mom now, and while being a mother is beautiful, you're still you. Taking care of your body, wanting to look good in your clothes again, or wanting to wear makeup and feel pretty. That's not vanity, that's self love. You're not doing it for anyone else, you're doing it for vision of you who wants to feel good again. I also want to address partners here. If your partner is not supportive or make negative comments about your body, let's be clear, that's not love. Real love sees you, respects your body for what it's been through, and encourage you, not pressure you with shame. You don't owe anyone perfect postpartum body. You deserve support, appreciation, and also no judgment. So if you're watching this video and you are wondering when you feel like yourself again, trust me, you will, slowly but surely. You're going to rebuild your strength, your energy, your confidence, and it won't just be about your weight. It will be about the way you carry yourself, the way you show up for yourself and for your life, and how proud you feel knowing you did your way in your time. So to take one day at a time, celebrate the small wins, drink water, move your body, eat nourished food, get rest when you can, and be kind to yourself. Your body is not broken, it's healing. And every stretch mark, every row, every soft spot is part of your story. You're not going backwards, you're becoming a new vision of yourself, a stronger, wiser, more beautiful vision. You got this, mama. I'm cheering you on every step on your way. If you're on this journey right now, drop a comment below and let me know how you're doing. Let's support each other. You're not alone. See you in the next video. Bye.